Hello, my name is William Newman, and I will be talking about my business idea, the Alliance of Athletes and Institutions. As a former student athlete in one of the 5 power conferences in college athletics, I always believed the NCAA was a decent governing body that did what it could to govern college sports in a fair, equitable manner. I was a firm believer that the system or model the NCAA was using was proven and it provided accountability to the universities while keeping the best interest of the student athlete at the forefront. My belief was that I played football for the university in exchange for room, board, and tuition. Part of that belief, however naive it may appear, was that when they said tuition, they actually meant degree. I was not alone in this thought process. Most of my teammates felt the same way. It was far more valuable to the university for me to get a C on the test and win on Saturday than it was for me to get an A on the test and lose the game. The consensus in the locker room was that as athletes, we were not at the university to excel academically. We were there to play football. And we were okay with that because it certainly appeared like the students, staff, professors, university, and the NCAA were all on the same page. The student-athlete dichotomy that was once considered joint has become exclusive of one another as the revenue in major college football and basketball have grown into the billions of dollars. During this time, the NCAA governance has remained stagnant. Under the NCAA, major college football and basketball have become broken, yet under a new form of governance, the business of major college football and basketball can flourish. The concept of amateurism has become impossible to grasp as it pertains to college athletics. The revenue generated by the success of college football and basketball programs has surpassed the billion-dollar mark annually, and the NCAA, the universities, and corporate America have had no problem cashing in on the hard work from the student athlete. As the only governing body of college athletics at the Division I, II, and III level, the NCAA has grown beyond its level of capacity and it has lost its ability to evolve and stay nimble in a dynamic environment. Further, the amateur principles that college athletics were founded on have become obsolete from large revenue streams. For these reasons, I am proposing a supplement to the NCAA and its governance. This new governing body is known as the Alliance of Athletes and Institutions. AAI will partner with universities and athletes to create a business that will provide consumers with a premium product and its customers the realization of a long-term, sustainable governing body. AAI will serve as the governing body of a limited number of revenue-generating sports, specifically football and basketball teams from the 5 power conferences in college athletics, and they are the ACC, the Big 12, the Big 10, the Pac-12, and the SEC. The current system has drawn fire from both the athletes and the institutions from the 5 major conferences. The athletes want improved compensation, and the institutions want autonomy on how they govern their football and basketball programs. The NCAA uses a one-size-fits-all mentality to administer policy. Its compounding rules and regulations are applied to the major revenue-generating universities at the Division I level, as well as the less resourced universities at the Division I, II, and III levels. Creating autonomy for the member institutions in the 5 power conferences will allow them to deregulate and create opportunities to further increase revenue. The NCAA is committed to their idea of amateurism in all college sports. They still believe college sports, even the billion-dollar industry of major college football and basketball, are based on students that happen to play sports. However, a chasm exists between the 5 power conferences and the rest of the Division I football and basketball programs. The NCAA has treated all universities under its governance equally, despite the disparity in financial resources. The autonomy that AAI will provide will allow its members the ability to make their own policy decisions on topics such as cost of attendance stipends, insurance benefits for players, staff sizes, recruiting rules, and mandatory hours spent on individual sports. The core ideology of the Alliance of Athletes and Institutions strongly adheres to the values of integrity and sportsmanship and supports the total development of athletes and its member institutions. The purpose of AAI is to organize, govern, and promote national championship caliber intercollegiate athletic programs. In doing so, AAI will optimize revenue and provide support compatible with both academic and athletic excellence. The core principles AAI is built on consist of transparency, balance, and equity to the principal stakeholders. The Alliance of Athletes and Institutions, through its member institutions, seeks to maximize the educational and athletic opportunities of its athletes while enriching their overall quality of life. In addition to its governing responsibilities, AAI will help to maximize profits to its member institutions through media rights, trademark and licensing agreements, and game attendance. AAI projects an increase in game attendance by 15%, with an average ticket price increasing 10%. In addition, there's a 25% increase projected in television revenue when existing television contracts expire. The end user of the services AAI provides will not be the member institutions, but the consumers of the product they put out, namely sports fans and university supporters. Currently, an online Harris poll showed that 11% of adults online chose college football as their favorite sport. The number one demographic were Southerners, followed by two academic-driven demographics, people with postgraduate degrees and those with undergraduate degrees. While the demographics of Easterners, Hispanics, and Democrats rank at the bottom of the ranking, it doesn't mean they're not a fan of college football. It simply means it's not their favorite sport. College football and basketball fall into a unique category. They attract fans of the individual sports, fans of a broad liking for sports, but also a group of people that don't generally like sports or understand them. Many college football and basketball supporters are current students, alumni, faculty, and staff of their respective universities. AAI will target existing college football and basketball fans throughout the country, but primarily in the regions with the 5 power conferences. With such a diverse demographic, AAI is in a strong position to gain market share quickly. There are a growing number of lawsuits directed at the current governing body for college athletics. In addition, the revenue generated by college football and basketball continue to climb as the value of television rights skyrocket. In a recent poll, 58% of all administrators from different levels of the NCAA support the 5 power conferences forming their own division. In addition, even NCAA President Mark Emmerichs has said it makes sense for the 5 big revenue conferences to have their own voice. A year ago, that would have been a very difficult conversation. Now, power member schools are saying, yeah, that makes sense. People just have to become more comfortable with the ideas and concepts of it. There are 2 types of competitors AAI needs to consider as it looks to establish itself as a premier governing body in Division I college football and basketball. The only direct competitor AAI has is the NCAA, which is the current governing body for all college sports. The indirect competition will come from professional sports leagues, specifically the National Football League and the National Basketball Association. These indirect competitors will not compete for university membership, but they will compete for fans and viewership, and they will compete for athletes, as generally speaking, college football and basketball are seen as minor league systems for the NFL and the NBA. The inception of AAI would provide member universities with much more autonomy in the decision-making process for how their college football and basketball programs are governed, which inevitably will lead to less regulation. Less regulation means less overhead and fewer off-the-field issues involving violations, which ultimately end up embarrassing the university. In addition, member universities gain a long-term solution to the barrage of lawsuits against the NCAA and uncertainty they provide to the universities. In addition to the member universities, the athletes will see major benefits from the existence of AAI in the form of gaining personal rights. Under the current model, athletes have very few rights, and they are dictated to when it comes to regulation. AAI would allow the athletes to participate in the creation and maintenance of the regulations they are held to. Athletes will also benefit from the financial gain, as increased compensation will certainly be a part of the business model for AAI. And lastly, athletes will benefit educationally through the promotion of new supporting academic structures. Finally, there is gain to the consumer of the product. While AAI is providing a service, the product they are governing will be an improvement over the current model for 2 reasons. In its current state, college football and basketball are seen as a farm system for the National Football League and the National Basketball Association, because many of the top athletes in high school play college football or basketball in hopes they will become professional athletes. Less regulation in AAI and financial benefits will ensure the top recruits attend member universities. In addition, many athletes leave college football and basketball early in an effort to turn pro. However, financial compensation and other consideration will entice athletes to stay in college longer, thus providing a better product to the consumer. The member universities of the Alliance of Athletes and Institutions are committed to improving our communities, being solid corporate citizens, and having a positive influence in society while practicing environmentally responsible operations. Ultimately, the position of athletics in today's culture provides athletes and institutions unique features that allow them to employ corporate social responsibility more effectively than traditional business. In recognition of our responsibilities, AAI has developed numerous company policies. Corporate and social responsibility is a key differentiator to AAI. AAI will make a concerted effort to focus on helping individuals grow as people in addition to the focus put on academics and athletics. As part of their scholarships, athletes from member universities of AAI are required to take life skills training while in season in lieu of academic coursework. Examples of the curriculum for the life skills program are as follows: health and safety, job readiness, financial management, life decisions and responsibilities, interpersonal skills, social media, and corporate social responsibility. AAI recognizes we have an obligation to society just as great, if not greater, than that of standard businesses due to our exposure within the culture. The nature of sport lends itself to being put in a position to influence society in general as well as specific communities. The existence of AAI helps the member universities enrich the lives of athletes through their athletic experience at their respective universities, as well as through the education received. It should be noted that in order to create positive change through corporate social responsibility, the member institutions of AAI need to be financially secure and profitable. The message to consumers is the superior product AAI offers, and the superior product can be seen in the form of increased exposure to individual athletes, both regionally and nationally in some cases, quality and skill level of the athletes, consistency of the game, increased competition, deeper connection to the athletes, enhanced facilities, more community involvement, and a positive customer experience. The current governing body often makes policy decisions with a one-size-fits-all mentality. This has imposed regulations that adversely affect the schools with the greatest ability to generate revenue. This form of governance has greatly impacted the rights of athletes by restricting their abilities to do normal student activities, such as having a job. AAI will establish a rules committee to establish the operating policies of the member institutions. The committee will be comprised of 80 individuals, 65 people from the member institutions, and 15 current athletes. Approved policies will receive at least 2/3 of the popular vote. The timing of the seasons for football and basketball leave an opportunity for growth in AAI. The fall sports season is occupied by football, and the winter and early spring is covered by basketball. This leaves room for a third sport in the late spring. AAI will research potential sports to fill that revenue void left during that season. There are several up-and-coming sports to consider when looking at a third option, including women's basketball, rugby, lacrosse, and men's and women's soccer. In addition to researching a third profitable sport, there are other strategic areas to consider, such as the possibility of aligning all the member institutions on the same academic schedule, possibly using a trimester system to more easily accommodate the revenue-generating athletic seasons. The high profile of AAI will leave several teams from outside conferences with the desire to become members. During the startup period, no additional teams will be added to AAI. After that period of time, no more than 2 teams are permitted to join AAI every 2 years, and teams must join with a partner university. We will have a board of directors comprised of commissioners from each of the member conferences. The role of the board members is to, among other things, govern the association by establishing broad policies and objectives. In addition, we will have a development committee made up of 1 representative, the athletic director, from each of the member institutions. The Development Committee will be responsible for giving focused input and setting policy for AAI governance. The President and CEO is the top decision maker, and this is an elected position. However, we will have a diverse and talented group of executives, and most of the decision-making opportunities will be handled by them. Executives will be comprised of a group of individuals whose strengths and weaknesses complement each other well, and an honest evaluation will be a routine practice. AAI is seeking an investment of $50,000 from each member institution for 6 consecutive months. The total investment needed by each member is $300,000. The initial total investment is high, but it is manageable when it is shared equally. The 6-month investment will give AAI time to begin operations. Such activities include securing a building, facilities, and equipment, completing an executive search to hire key personnel, the formation of the board of directors, the formation of the development committee, the ability to confirm direction, policies, and objectives, and contract negotiations of television contracts, including any and all buyout considerations. The seed money should be considered an investment, as the member institutions are essentially buying shares into AAI. In addition to gaining autonomy in the governing process of football and basketball and generating an increase in revenue for the member institutions also gain a long-term solution to growing discourse between athletes and institutions. That relationship is mended through a concerted effort by the universities and the athletes working together to establish a clear policy that creates a win-win scenario. An introduction of a 16-team playoff for football will increase revenue for member institutions by over $1 billion annually at the current market value. The ticket price is forecasted to increase 10% with an increase of 15% in game attendance. In addition, there will be a 25% increase in television rights. Thank you for your time. My contact information is below.